Hey everyone, welcome back. Finally got another video on this guitar kit. So as you can see, the previous finish job didn't turn out too well on this. So I've sanded it back and I'm starting over again. For the color, I'm using black Angelus leather dye, which is really simple to use. All you do is take a piece of t-shirt and just wipe it on. Now this body is basswood with a maple top, and normally you wouldn't use stain or dye on basswood because it just doesn't really have any grain and doesn't look that good, but I think with this black dye it'll turn out fine. The one drawback of this dye is that I waste a lot spilling it. And there's the front done. You can see where the old finish was, it's kind of showing up as shiny spots on there. But I think once I get the gloss clear coat on, those will blend in a lot better. So just flip this right over. And I've already got part of the back done actually. And so let's just finish this up on here. So we got that finished now. It's not looking bad. Like I said, I think once I get the clear coat on, those glossy spots won't stand out anymore. And you got kind of some of the grain of the maple showing through, which I think is going to look pretty nice. Just gonna peel the tape back off the binding here now. And that's looking pretty good with the binding. So now I'm using a razor blade to scrape the binding. Just to clean off any dye that got onto it. And this is actually the first time I've ever scraped binding on a guitar, so still pretty clumsy at doing it. It did get a bit better with some practice though. I also gained a lot of respect for the people I've seen working in guitar factories. You can just clean off the whole side of a guitar in pretty much one sweep. So for the clear coat now, I'm using Minwax Wipe On Poly, and because I want a nice glossy finish, I'm gonna put it on fairly thickly with a brush. And what I like to do is let the one side dry before moving on to the next. That way it can sit nice and flat, and that makes it less likely to get a run in the finish. Afterwards, I just take a piece of cloth and use it to wipe up any runs that may have leaked over the edge. Alright, so after 2 coats of poly on the whole guitar body, I've got enough built up to take some 800 grit sandpaper and sand it all flat, just to get rid of any little bubbles that may have dried in there. And I also missed a couple runs on the side that I want to get flat before moving on to the next step as well. And I'm going pretty carefully here and not applying too much pressure because I don't want to sand through my clear coat. Here you can see a little trick I'm using where I take just a piece of paper and use it to mask off some of the runs. That way I can sand the high part of the run and get it down closer to the rest of the poly without messing up the finish around it. So after everything's sanded, I'm just going to put on another coat of poly, and this time I'm actually going to go with a lighter coat so I can get the whole body done at once here. So right now I've got the body hanging up drying, and I'm gonna come back and do more to it later, but I think I'll save that for another video. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't seen the rest of this series, you should go check that out. I'll put a link to the playlist. And also don't forget to subscribe so you can see more videos as they come out. And I'll see you in the next video.